Are you looking for parts to build a PC and you can't decide on which parts to choose from? Well, good thing that you're here, because today I'll be teaching you how to find parts for your PC. Today we're going to go over CPU. And what I said in the PC parts video is there are two brands to choose from. You have Ryzen or you have Intel. And people building a PC for the first time, this is the biggest question they get asked, or they ask themselves. Ryzen or Intel? Depends on what you would like to do. Whatever fits your preferences, really. So if you want more of a productive side of a computer, like a workspace computer, or a computer for the office, or your office at home, go with Intel, because you know you're not going to be doing much besides doing your, like, say, spreadsheets or like Photoshop or animating or stuff like modeling for Blender. But if you want to game on your PC, like if it's somebody that likes to stream video games or somebody likes to do something gaming related or streaming, content creating related, go with Ryzen. Now, when looking at a Ryzen, we're going to start with Ryzen. So when looking at a Ryzen CPU, you have a lot of different options. You have their number, which is 3, 5, 7, and 9. And these are like the generations in a sort of way, where it's all the different points where you find jumps in performance. The Ryzen 3 is no longer supported as of November 2020, meaning that they're not supported anymore as like they're not selling them anymore, more like they're not being made in like the newer generations. So for example, Ryzen 5, 7, and 9 recently released the 5000 series, meaning that this is the 5th generation that they've been here. Ryzen 3 does not have Ryzen 5000 series. It has the Ryzen 3000 series, which was last generation. I know it's a bit weird that they skipped 4. I guess they just go in odd numbers. I don't know. But this was the previous generation, was Ryzen 3000. And you can find the 3000 series in 5, 7, and 9, but if you're looking for a 5000 series, good luck, by the way. It's sold out everywhere. The 5000 series is the way to go for 5, 7, and 9. Especially if the Ryzen 5000, I think it's 5200, is $300 compared to the $250 of the 3600. Just pay the extra $50 for the latest model. So for a CPU in Ryzen, my suggestion, go with Ryzen 5 5200X. Now, for Intel. Intel has the same thing that we went about. They have the Core series, which is i3, i5, i7, and i9. Now, as far as I know, the i3 is still being supported, and it's just like the Ryzen series. Each one is a different price point with a jump in performance and efficiency. Now, looking at one of these, you might think, oh, it's the same naming content, kind of like, a couple thousand or 100, and it's, very simple. Well, you'd be wrong, because Intel's naming schemes, naming conventions, are very, very, in my opinion, stupid, because they have like 6 digits, and it's not coherent whatsoever, and then they just add a letter in there out of nowhere. Now, and then you might be saying, hey, why is there X at the end of this if it's just numbers? Well, in Ryzen, there's only one letter that gets put at the end, and that letter is X, because X means overclock. And now overclock, we'll get to that in a second. Yeah, we will get to that in a second. I just want to go over Intel first. Now, with Intel, they have like 6 digits, like I said. They don't, and then, I just suggest getting, my opinion, get a i7, whatever number, K, Gen 8. Now, they release different generations in the sense that the Ryzen series releases the different thousands. It's the same set of CPUs, just a newer version of it with better processing, more cores, and more threads, which we will get to right now. Now, looking for a CPU, there are 2 things that you will look for, or that you'll mainly see when looking for them. You'll see cores, and you'll see threads. You'll see cores and threads. Now, these are very similar in the sense that they get to distribute memory. Now, cores mean that it space to distribute that memory, meaning that it will be able to run faster because there's more space for the memory to run. Threads is in the same vein as cores, except there's more, I would think of it like this. Threads are like a road to the core. The more road, the more memory can fit on that road and have it go to the core where the core can run free, where the memory can run free in the cores. So the main cores and thread count that a CPU will have as of right now is 6 cores and 12 threads. That is with the Ryzen 5 2600. Now, the 2600 is a couple generations old, but it's a great starter chip. And speaking of CPUs, I actually do have a CPU right here in my hand, in my pocket. This right here is an Intel Core 2 Duo from 2006. Now, the Core 2 Duo is nearly 10 years old. Nearly. Actually, over that, because 2006, 2016, yeah. Over 10 years old. They're no longer using the Core 2 Duo anymore. They're using, I think the lowest end you can find now is a Pentium, which is the generation before Core, and you'll still find those in PCs. We have a PC with Pentium in it. We might show you that. But we actually might just go over the PCs that we have that aren't the workspace PCs at one point, but we'll see how I can get the permission from that. So, when looking with cores and threads, now they have stuff like 9 cores and 24 threads, 10 cores and 32 threads. Like, it goes up in 12s here, usually, and it goes up in 3s, 1s, or 2s here. Now comes a bit of a decision making. And really, if you think about it, it's all up to you. Now, it's all up to you. It's your preference. It's the same thing as, do I want, sweet potato fries or regular fries? It's your preference. It's what you want. If you want to be more productive, go with Intel. If you want to game, go with AMD. But they also are interchangeable. Ryzen can also multitask pretty well, and Intel can also game pretty well. Now, where to buy them? If you would like to purchase them in person, in store, or online, in New England, there are two, because we are currently in New England, so in New England there are two specific places that we can think of that you can purchase parts for PC in store without ordering them online first. That's Best Buy and Micro Center. Now these two stores are, in my opinion, fantastic. I've been to Micro Center once, and I've been to a Best Buy a couple of times. Now, Best Buy, you have to know what you're doing at Best Buy to get the best deal here, because Best Buy is a big corporation that will, overcharge you for things that shouldn't be overcharged. So, do your research first. If you're going to Best Buy, do your research first, and then go to Best Buy. Micro Center, less of a problem there. They're willing to bargain with you and not really bargain. They're just it's not wholesale prices, but it's cheaper than Best Buy and maybe a bit more expensive than ordering online. Now ordering online, you have the obvious contenders. You have Amazon and eBay, and you have any secondhand site like Facebook Marketplace and places like Instagram Marketplace, all the social media marketplaces. You can go there too. Places like Mercari, Craigslist, stuff like that is people selling them because of buyer's remorse or because they upgraded. And the third main store that you can get them on online is this fantastic store called Newegg. Now Newegg is mainly for PC parts. You can buy other technology stuff there, but it's mainly for PC parts. That's what they specialize in. You get wholesale prices here. There are very few occasions where you'll find them on different websites. Because if you go to this website called PC Part Picker, it will tell you, you'll configure your system, put all the parts that you want, and then on the right-hand side, it'll tell you where to find the best price. I would say 90% of the time, it would be Newegg. And then the other 10% would be Amazon or other. Now those are some pretty good stats if I do say so myself. So instead of going to this website, just go to Newegg. Look at the parts you want, look at the latest and greatest if you want. And at Newegg, they do have a PC building kit of their own that you can list your own parts in, and it will tell you the final price minus shipping. And then you go into your cart and it'll do, add taxes and shipping and stuff like that. So that is all I have to say for today. If you are looking for a PC, good luck, especially now because there's a lot of competition in the air. So good luck, and I'll see you next time.